Okay, I want you to just picture this for a second. It's kind of the ultimate contrast in business history, isn't it?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about one of the world's biggest, most powerful brands, like instantly recognizable everywhere, multi-billion-dollar company.
Right?
And it started with basically two things. A college kid selling shoes
Yeah.
out of the back of his car,
Okay. And the other?
and a cheap kitchen waffle iron.
Seriously?
Huh?
Waffle iron. And you can't forget the logo, the swoosh.
Oh, absolutely. That symbol of speed, of movement,
Yeah.
it's worth billions now.
And they paid, what was it, a design student, Carolyn Davidson, a
Yeah.
one-time fee.
$35. $35.
It's unbelievable when you think about it.
It really is. Now, you fast forward to today, and you might easily drop $300, $350, maybe even more for just one pair of specialized sneakers.
That gap from $35 for the brand identity to $300 plus for the product, it's huge. It's staggering. So our deep dive today, that's what we're tackling. We want to understand that journey. How did Phil Knight's little venture, Blue Ribbon Sports, morph into this global giant, Nike?
And maybe answer the big question. What exactly are we paying for when we buy that modern, super-engineered shoe?
Exactly. To get that answer, I think we have to start right back at the beginning, that humble origin story in 1964.
Right. That's Phil Knight, who was an economics student then, and his old track coach, Bill Bowerman. Together, they launched Blue Ribbon Sports, or BRS.
And their whole strategy, it seems so simple now, but it was pretty disruptive back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, they basically asked, why are American runners paying so much for track shoes imported all the way from Germany?
When they could get shoes from Japan that were, well, just as good quality-wise, but way cheaper.
Precisely. So they started importing shoes from a company called Onitsuka Tiger.
Which most people now would know as ASICS, right?
That's the one. And Knight, he was literally, as you said, selling these shoes from his car trunk at track meets. I mean, talk about bootstrapping a startup. That's the definition.
Absolutely. The real turning point, though, that came a bit later, in 1971.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's when they split off and became Nike.
Yep. They adopted the name Nike, inspired by the Greek goddess of victory.
And that's also when the $35 swoosh logo came into play from Carolyn Davidson.
Exactly. But what's really fascinating about those early days, their success wasn't just about smart importing or marketing. A lot of it was, well, almost accidental innovation.
Driven by Bowerman, the coach.
Right. He was obsessed with finding ways to make shoes better for his athletes, just constantly tinkering.
And this leads to the famous waffle iron story.
It does. Legend has it, he's having breakfast, looks at his wife's waffle iron.
And as a flash of inspiration.
Kind of, yeah. He realized that grid pattern, the squares, could be the perfect mold for a new kind of running sole.
It sounds kind of crazy, pouring rubber into a kitchen appliance.
Well, it worked. That simple idea led to the revolutionary waffle sole. It gave runners much better traction, especially on new synthetic tracks, and crucially, it was lighter than the soles available then.
So that bit of DIY engineering, that was key to their early success. It gave them a real product advantage.
Absolutely secured their early dominance in the running world.
But, okay, they were a successful running shoe company. How did they jump from that to being this global status symbol? That happened later, right?
Yeah, that big cultural shift really hit in the 1980s. And the catalyst, one name, Michael Jordan.
Ah, the Air Jordan partnership. That feels like the pivotal moment.
Totally. Launching the Air Jordan line wasn't just about selling basketball shoes. It brilliantly merged athletic greatness with, popular culture and aspiration.
It basically turned sneakers from just functional gear into must-have fashion items.
Exactly. It cemented this whole idea that a shoe could be way more than just something you put on your feet. It could be a statement.
Okay, so the Jordan deal was the cultural game changer. But let's get back to the shoe itself. If we're paying hundreds today, what's the actual value proposition beyond the brand and the history? We need to go inside the factory, so to speak.
Right. And today, everything starts digitally. Nike designers, they're not just sketching artists anymore. They're kind of like scientists, too, mapping out performance.
How does that work?
They use really advanced 3D software to build incredibly detailed digital prototypes first.
So less trial and error with physical shoes.
Way less, at least in the early stages. This precision modeling lets them optimize everything, the sole geometry, the upper's flexibility for a specific purpose, achieving that perfect balance between function, like cushioning or stability, and just how the shoe looks and feels.
That initial R&D, the digital design work, that must be a huge upfront investment, iterating constantly to get it just right.
It is. And that effort, that design process, that's definitely part of what you're paying for.
Okay, so design is first, then comes materials.
Material science is huge for them, and they're really pushing on two fronts: high performance and increasingly sustainability.
Like flame knit. That always seemed pretty innovative.
Flyknit is a great example. What's revolutionary there is the how. They essentially weave the entire upper of the shoe from fibers, often made from recycled plastic bottles, into one seamless piece.
Okay, so it's strong but also light and breathable.
Exactly. And it's efficient, less waste compared to traditional cut-and-sew methods, which ties into their sustainability goals.
What about underfoot? The cushioning.
Well, they use specialized materials like highly lightweight EVA foam, think exceptional shock absorption, really good elasticity or bounce, and then you've got durable synthetic leathers for structure and tough rubber for the outsoles, for grip and wear resistance.
And I assume these materials get tested like crazy before they even think about making a shoe.
Oh, absolutely. Everything goes through intense lab testing. They check for stretch, durability, how well it breathes, how resilient it is over time. They need to ensure that premium shoe can actually handle what it's designed for, whether that's elite athletics or just daily pounding on the pavement.
Right, not just looking good out of the box.
Definitely not. But if there's one technology that really defines the modern Nike sole, especially since the 80s, it's got to be their Air technology.
Oh, yes, Nike Air, we hear about it constantly.
Yeah.
Is it genuinely different from just having good foam cushioning? Or is it maybe more of a branding masterpiece?
It's actually both, I'd say. The tech is real. The process involves creating these carefully shaped pockets or bags filled with pressurized gas, usually nitrogen, inside the midsole. They use thermal molding to make them.
Okay, so little airbags inside the sole.
Essentially, yes. And they're precisely engineered and pressure tested so they don't burst or leak, even under repeated impact. It's not just foam. It's like a tiny, durable suspension system for your foot.
Providing that consistent cushioning, that feeling people talk about.
Exactly. That feeling of lightness, almost like walking on an invisible spring, that unique proprietary engineering, creating and perfecting those air units, that's a significant piece of the cost puzzle.
Got it. So after design and materials, you get to manufacturing. Is that still mostly hand-assembled?
There's still skilled handwork involved, but modern factories lean heavily on precision automation too. They use robotic arms now for things like cutting the material patterns and shaping components.
For accuracy and less waste, I guess.
Precisely. Millimeter-level accuracy, minimizing waste. Then specialized machines take over for bonding the sole to the upper, stitching everything together securely.
And the final touches, the logo placement.
Yep, applying the swoosh, adding final design elements, and then, critically, quality control.
Every single shoe gets checked.
Everyone. They go through rigorous final inspections. We're talking physical stress tests, bending them, compressing them to make absolutely sure they meet Nike standards for both daily wear and intense activity before they get boxed up and shipped out worldwide.
Speaking of shipping worldwide, where are most of these shoes actually made? If you pick up a pair of Nikes, where did it likely come from?
High probability it was made in Asia. The big centers are China, Indonesia, and especially Vietnam.
Vietnam's the main hub now.
Overwhelmingly so. Vietnam produces more than half of all Nike footwear globally. It's become the absolute core of their shoe manufacturing.
Why Vietnam specifically? Just cost?
It started with cost effectiveness, sure, but it's more than that now. You've got high-tech facilities there, decades of accumulated manufacturing expertise in footwear, a skilled workforce, and really strong infrastructure that supports this massive scale of production.
But this huge global production network.
Yeah.
It hasn't always been a smooth ride, has it? I seem to remember some major controversies back in the day.
No, definitely not smooth. Back in the 1990s, Nike faced a storm of public criticism, really sharp criticism about conditions in some of the factories run by their suppliers.
What were the main concerns?
Reports focused on things like low wages, excessive working hours, poor working conditions, and really damagingly allegations of child labor practices in some facilities.
That must have been a huge crisis for the brand.
It was massive, and it forced a pretty fundamental shift within the corporation. They couldn't ignore it.
So how did they respond?
To their credit, they did respond significantly over time. They implemented a company-wide code of conduct for their suppliers. They established systems for regular independent factory audits, and they started cooperating more with non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to monitor and try to improve standards.
So it's been a process of improvement.
It's definitely been described as a journey. It's incredibly complex, trying to ensure ethical standards across hundreds of factories in different countries run by different contractors. It's an ongoing challenge.
And that brings us to today and their big public goals around ethics and environment, right? Like the Move to Zero initiative.
Exactly. That's a huge public commitment. They're aiming for zero waste and zero carbon emissions across their entire supply chain.
That sounds incredibly ambitious for a company producing, what, hundreds of millions of pairs of shoes every year.
It's enormous. They're actively trying to frame success, not just in terms of profit, but also in meeting these massive environmental targets. It involves practical things like developing ways to recycle old shoes into materials for new soles, minimizing waste in production, powering factories with renewable energy sources.
And the cost of doing all that, the investment in greener tech, the auditing, that must factor into the price of the shoe, too.
Absolutely. The resources they dedicate to hitting and verifying these sustainability targets are another layer built into the final product cost. It's a part of the modern Nike package.
So you got this blend, the core innovation, the material science, this huge global operation, and now this ambitious ethical and environmental commitment.
It all reinforces that idea that Nike is, much more than just an economic engine, although it certainly is that. With over $44 billion in annual revenue, selling something like 700 million pairs a year.
It's a cultural force, too.
Totally. And the tech feeds into that. Think about their modern innovations like React foam.
What's special about React?
React foam is kind of their champion of cushioning right now. It's engineered to be incredibly soft, but also stable. And importantly, it provides energy return. You feel that bounce with every step.
Okay, soft, stable, and bouncy. That combination is what people want.
That's what athletes and everyday users are looking for, yeah. And getting that precise combination of properties, that single element, that foam, represents millions in proprietary R&D patented compounds.
So that relentless chase for even a small improvement, that marginal gain, that's another justification for paying, say, $300.
It's a key part of it. And that advanced tech is then leveraged perfectly by their cultural power. Think about the Just Do It campaign.
Iconic. Still going strong.
Right. And the massive athlete collaborations, like with Cristiano Ronaldo or LeBron James, they don't just sell product. They sell an attitude, an aspiration, performance, ambition. It's all wrapped up in the brand.
And specific models become cultural icons themselves. The Air Force One, the Air Jordan line.
Exactly. Those shoes basically created modern sneaker culture. They turned practical footwear into high-fashion status symbols.
And Nike stays on top by constantly reinventing collaborations with designers, artists.
Think Virgil Abloh's Off-White collaborations, for example. They keep blending sport with high fashion, setting trends, not just following them. That keeps them relevant and desirable.
So looking back at everything we've discussed, Nike really is this fascinating mix.
Yeah, it's groundbreaking science meets this huge cultural desire, massive global economic power, and now this very necessary commitment to trying to do better ethically and environmentally. It's quite the package.
And it all started with that $35 logo and a waffle iron. It's wild. But the journey isn't over, right? The future sounds like it could be even crazier.
Oh, for sure. The sources we looked at point towards things like smart shoes that adapt to your foot or activity, maybe even self-lacing models becoming more common.
Or sneakers made from totally new materials, maybe things that biodegrade really quickly.
Could be. If Nike keeps pushing the boundaries, not just in performance, but in personalized tech, sustainable materials, it makes you wonder, what role will you, the consumer, play in how shoes are made in the future?
How do you mean?
Well, will your next pair be something you partly design? Or maybe it's stand and customized specifically to your foot shape, your running style, your daily routine? Does the shoe become almost like a personalized biological or digital extension of you?
Wow, that's a deep thought. A completely customized shoe, maybe even printed on demand.
Potentially. It really pushes the definition of what a shoe is.
It does. You know, it reminds me, your favorite pair of sneakers. Often it's not just about the tech, is it? It represents something more. A memory, maybe, or that feeling, that motivation, that whole just do it idea.
Definitely.
So maybe think about that. What's your favorite Nike model? Is there one that really stands out for you, and why does it hold that significance? Something to ponder.
Yeah, good question to end on.
And that is all the time we have for this deep dive.